quick disclaimer, I don't own anything of the Unlucky Tug. I just thought this would be really fun. Yeah, let's just get in the video, okay? Enjoy, I'll see what I can do.
Hey guys, Unlucky Tug here, and with me today is my good friend, Zo93.
What's up, YouTube?
We're here to bring you a very different kind of video today. This is a little something we like to call Unanswered Thomas questions!
Dun, dun, dun.
Alright, you're gonna notice that a lot of these will be frozen, so yeah. And some of these clips might be muted, so let's get into it.
And what exactly is an unanswerable Thomas question, Zio?
Well, my friend, an unanswerable Thomas question are things that no casual fan of the show would actually think about. Some of those in-depth things when you've seen all 19 seasons about 70 times. These questions just come into your brain and start to haunt you and make you stay up all night and you think for hours and hours, wait a minute, what is this? How has this happened? What is this? I'm confused! So basically, we're going to try to explain that for you.
No, me, because you guys didn't even solve them, okay? If anything, you guys just explained it. I'm kidding, of course, I'll try my best again, okay? Let's go back, I'm sorry.
Sounds like fun. So without further ado, let's get this thing started. Alright, 3, 2, 1, go!
If Thomas was to eat a cheeseburger, what would happen? Would he swallow it and poop out underneath the tracks? Or would it just go into his firebox and burn up?
Well, if you want to be logical, I think it would honestly go into his firebox because, well, yeah, it would burn up because logic.
Could Thomas drink water from the water tower through the hose like a straw?
I really don't think so because, again, using logic, I think it would mess up his smoke box.
What are the train's faces made of? Is it flesh or is it like a rubbery material? If I cut Thomas's face with a knife, would he bleed?
Okay, first off, why would you do that? Second, I'm not quite sure because we haven't seen the engines bleed, but then again, we have seen them blushed. So, that's a bit confusing.
How do their faces get there? Do they just magically appear after the engine is built? Or do the designers of the engine have a face in mind when they draw the blueprints?
I'm honestly going to go with the logic of Victor Tanzik, which is basically, you know, their faces come up when they get the first firing, so that's basically it. I'm going to use that.
How do the engines get their smoke boxes cleaned out? Are their faces on hinges and open up like a door?
No, because then you would have to give them the green water to help them, you know, not feel the pain. But honestly, I like to think that they use this type of broom and they just do it through the funnel, kind of like how they used to do with chimneys or, you know, fireplaces.
Why are the faces gray of all colors?
I mean, I don't know. Do you want it to be black? Do you want it to be, like, pink, like the next clip?
Why do some characters have actual faces while others are meshed into their bodies, like Annie, Clarabelle, and Harold?
I mean, don't you remember the concept art? Ooh, cursed.
If Annie and Clarabelle and the slip coach's faces are a part of their bodies, why isn't Henrietta?
Because it works.
What's the point of Henrietta's rear platform where her face is now? People can't get into her at that end because her face is just blocking where the door would have been, rendering that platform absolutely pointless.
I like to think that it helps her in the quarry so that she can protect herself. Or it's kind of like a field, you know? I don't know.
If Henrietta or any coach were to open their mouth really wide, could a person crawl through their mouth into the coach? If not, how far into the mouth can one reach before they hit the wall?
Actually, Nick, I'm glad you bring that up, because there's an interesting theory about that.
Oh.
See, if I were to climb through Annie's mouth, I actually pop out of Clarabelle's mouth.
Oh.
So just imagine Annie and Clarabelle are side by side. If I were to crawl through Annie's mouth and go through a good bit, my head and upper torso would be out of Clarabelle's mouth, but my legs and feet would be still dangling out of Annie's.
Well, that's just some dumb poo-poo, because if you were to go inside the coach, well, how on earth would you even be able to, you know, hit the mouth? And if so, how does the teleportation thing work? Wait, does that mean I can try that with Bill and Ben, Ari and Bert, Donald, Douglas?
What is behind the truck's faces beside that flat single layer of wood?
If a truck was loaded with sand or something and they sneezed or coughed, would sand pour out of their mouth?
Well, I kind of put these two together because it just seems right. But honestly, if it were to sneeze, I don't think that'd be possible because, well, you have the plank. And you might think I'm crazy, but I'm gonna kind of do it with duck because Since Duck's face is literally on the front of the engine, wouldn't the fire kind of mess it up? Or, that's another unanswerable Thomas question. Leave your answer in the comments below.
How does it always work out that the trucks face forward when they're a part of a train? Isn't there any case where they might get turned around in a shunting yard and have to travel backward?
I mean, have you not seen the Troublesome van? I mean, it shows you right there, so... Come on, I thought you were Thomas fan.
Do the trucks make friends with each other? Or do they see it as a pointless effort because they know they'll get split up at the yard at some point and probably never see each other again? That's gotta be depressing. It must be hard to be a truck. No wonder they cause so many accidents.
That was the most depressing thing I've ever heard. But, that can't be wrong because they all talk to each other and hang out. It's not like they're going to be quiet and not be next to each other,
Do the trucks have names? If not, do they give each other names?
I mean, do you not know Scruffy, Fred, and Rickety? And then there's these guys, I guess. So take it away.
And I'm gonna go through that list right now. Brain, Bullstruck, Chester, Chump, Crack, Craig, Krusty, Francis, Greg, Muffin, Omar, Peachy, Pinky, Ralph, Spanky, Tobias, Tomas, Zippy, Stumpy, Randall, Dolan, Doogie, Slappy, and Ivan.
Ivan is my favorite truck and you can't change my mind.
How are some things on Sodor alive and some things aren't? Like, why is Cranky alive, but the Big Mickey crane isn't?
I know this was back then, but, season 24. Man, that was the only good thing we got in that season.
Bulstrode, Captain, and Skip are the only boats with faces, but there are millions of others that don't. Who decides what comes alive and what?
Zoran is right there, okay? But then again, where are you supposed to put the rest of the faces?
Where do Skip's wheels go when he's waterbound? Do they just fall off?
I like to think that the wheels are kind of like hooked on, kind of like the Tomy models.
Stop him, and then we'd be able to,
Yeah, that's a good sound.
What is Sailor John's last name?
Vansky.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
What are the Duke and Duchess's names?
Actually, their names are Duke and Duchess, respectively. They were actually dogs, and then the small railway engines from the hills turned them into humans. See, Marion wasn't crazy. They were magic. How do the operations with Spencer on Sodor work? Like, when Duke and Duchess are staying on Sodor, do they have absolute freedom to run Spencer wherever on the line? Or do they have to clear everything with Sir Topham Hatt and the railway hoe?
Bro, he literally just answered himself. He just said it backwards.
Where does Spencer sleep when he's on Sodor? Is there a shed for him somewhere near the summer house? Or does a steam team member just get kicked out of Tidmouth sheds to accompany him? If that's the case, why would Spencer stay so far away from the summer house? Isn't the summer house like near Wellsworth or something?
See, that is very true. Spencer's summer house is actually very far away. But then again, using the logic from the last question, they have to make some arrangements, so it's kind of convenient in a way, Especially for Spencer.
What year does the show take place in? Is it modern day or is it the 1950s? Because no one seems to have a computer, cell phone, especially in the case where they could really use it when they crowd.
He said it himself. I know this was recorded in the future, but he answered it. Roll the clip.
Our story begins in 1806 with the formation of the first ever railway on the island of Sodor. Is Birdie the only bus on Sodor? Why do we never see others?
Well, you see, in Thomas Birdie and the Great Race, you obviously didn't see that there were more buses in the yard. So, no, there are more buses on Sodor.
Bro, they forgot Bulgy?
Just stop. Stop.
Sorry. Why do Connor and Caitlin have Irish accents if they're American engines?
Okay, I have a feeling I'm gonna go through a whole bunch of mind blow because it's already happening. Oh no. What I get?
Where the flip does Hero live? Sodor? Japan? The big...
Okay, there's probably two answers for that. One of them being that he has his own shed on Sodor, or he's kind of like what Diesel was like, where they'd have to call him from the mainland.
Land?
Who operates Cranky, and how does anyone even get inside of him?
Concept art. Don't you know about the concept art?
What about Marion? She doesn't even have front windows.
And not to mention Kevin, I mean, who's driving him?
So this one was a bit hard to explain, but let's just use the show's logic and say that they operate themselves. God, I hated that.
Why does Glynn sound just like Scarloey and Bert like Sir Handel?
Because Keith Wickham does too many characters and has officially run out of voices. I mean, look at The Adventure Begins. He practically talked to himself the entire time.
Well, that answers that.
Leave a comment telling me if you'd like me to do more. I wouldn't mind.